So this is lesson 4.4, problem set in elementary algebra. And if you look at the ones that we've got here, 13 through 26, again, you're just taking the parentheses off on those that you can and combining like terms. Ones like 17 through 24 don't have parentheses, so you don't have to do anything there except combine like terms. So like if you look at number 24, your like terms are the negative 18y and the 2y, so you're just going to add those two together and get negative 16y. So you're going to have y squared minus 16y minus 12, because the 12 and the y squared don't have anything to combine with. And number 27, 28, and 27 and 28, you've got some fractions to deal with. And then when you get to 31 through, looks like 44, you've got some minus signs sprinkled in there, like numbers 31, 32, you've got those minus signs. So let's look at number 32 here. We have 4x cubed minus 2/5 x squared plus 3/8 x minus 1. And we are going to subtract 9/2 x cubed plus 1/4 x squared minus x plus 5/6. So there's a lot to do there. Key thing here is we take that parenthesis off, everything changes sign. So that becomes a negative, that becomes a negative. In fact, that becomes a negative, that becomes a positive, and this one becomes a negative. Alright, and we can take off that parenthesis and that parenthesis. Now we can combine like terms. So we've got this and this that we combine. So we're going to have to make this one 8/2 x cubed so that we can subtract 9/2 x cubed. So we've got to find common denominators there. So sometimes it helps to write down what you're going to combine. So we didn't do anything except rewrote it. Then we're going to look at this one and this one. So we have negative 2/5 minus 1/4. So let's just write that right now. We'll find common denominators in a minute, but let's just at least put everything together that we're going to combine. And then we're going to bring together 3/8 x and a regular old x. Then we're going to have a minus 1 minus 5/6. So see, all I did here was put the common terms together here with the x cubes, x squareds, x's, and then nothing. And then I have to start adding and subtracting. So 8 minus 9 is going to be negative 1/2 x cubed. So that takes that away. And these I've got to find common denominators in order to subtract those two. And then I've got to find common denominators in order to add those two. And then common denominators to subtract those two. So let's look at this one right here. 2/5 and 1/4. Common denominator is going to be 20. So we are going to have, in fact, let's move some stuff around here so I have a little bit more room. Okay, so we'll just do this part down here. So 20, and what do we do to get a 5 to be a 20? We multiplied it by 4, so we multiply the 2 times 4. And then the bottom here becomes a 20 because we multiplied 4 times 5, so we multiply 5 times 1 to get that. Now I've got a negative 8 minus 5, which is negative 13/20 x squared. So this ends up being the answer to combining those. So let's see what we can do here. We're going to write this as minus 13 over 20 x squared. So this part here is here. This part here is here. So now I can scribble this out as we're done with that. Now let's look at this part here. 3/8 x plus x. So this needs to be 8 over 8 because that's 1, right? And we have to have common denominator. So 3 over 8x plus 8 over 8x is, we'll put it up here, 11x over 8. And we just got rid of that. Okay, the last part that we have to do is this part right here. We've got a negative 1 minus 5, 6. Common denominator would be negative 6 over 6 minus 5, 6. So what is negative 6 minus 5? That's the same as negative 6 plus negative 5. So that's going to give me negative 11 over 6. And we're done with that part. Alright, so our answer to this whole thing is this right here. Does not look very pretty, but if you take it one little step at a time and cross things out as you get done so you don't forget what you've done and what you haven't done, you should be good. Now if you look at number 33, you're going to take parentheses off. So the first parenthesis will come off, then there's a plus, so you can take the second set of parentheses off without making any changes. But in the third set, there's a minus sign in front of there. So when you take that third parenthesis off, change all the signs. That'll be negative 13y squared plus 6y minus 20. And then you can combine all your like terms. Like you've got a 4y squared, a 5y squared, and a minus 13y squared. So you combine all three of those. And that's it for problem set 4.4.